Is this a major chart pattern breakdown? Hi, it's Charlie giving you Saturday's video to think about. I'm bringing up the chart of the euro here. I've got a daily chart. I'm actually recording this late on Friday, about 20 to 6 Friday afternoon UK time. And so what I wanted to show you was a couple of patterns here on the euro. And the first one, if I take us out to the weekly chart, is because these patterns, these are traditional patterns here. Sorry, there we go. I was just waiting for the chart to load then, so it seemed to take a while. So on the weekly chart here, many of you would have spotted this already, but we have got this potential head and shoulders pattern. So we've got the left shoulder here, we've got the head here, and we've got the right shoulder here. And if you draw traditionally, what you would do, for those of you who are not aware, you would draw a trend line across the neckline there, so that connects the base of the left shoulder and also the right shoulder going across from the head. So and then that would give you that line. I'm just drawing across manually, but it'd be across here. If I actually put it on quickly, there we go. So it looked like that. So we're trying to break that at the moment. So you can see there, we're trying to break that at the moment. I'll leave that off for now. So we've got a head and shoulders pattern. Now the other thing with head and shoulders pattern is, what do they mean? What can they project? So again, you would take that neckline, oops, not drawn that on very well, and you would measure from inside the head, from the highest point in this, without touching the candles really, and then measure that down. I'm not brilliant at this sort of stuff, it's not that important, it's just a rough calculation, but you would take that and then you would project that down, okay, and that would give you that projection, or you put it over to here and you would take that projection, and that would give you a projection somewhere down in this zone, down here. That's if the pattern is going to play out, of course, and of course there's no guarantees that pattern is going to play out. Like all patterns, they only have a given percentage chance of actually playing fully out, but they are traditional technical analysis patterns. And then there's another one, funnily enough, at the moment, and I spotted this because I was looking this afternoon at the dollar index, and this is the dollar index right now. So I spotted this on the dollar index, and then I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go and look at the euro dollar, and on the euro, if I invert the chart on the euro, so I'm going to turn my euro chart upside down. I just need to change the colors of the candles as well, because they don't invert naturally. I have to manually change them. So let's invert those colors so that they would be correct as well. There we go. Now this looks just like that dollar index, doesn't it? Yes, that's because the euro dollar or the dollar index, the heaviest weighted currency in the dollar index is the euro, and that's why you see an upside down euro dollar is basically, pretty much the dollar index. So what I've identified here, and I'm sure many of you have identified this as well, is we have I'm not brilliant at these sorts of patterns, but even I can spot this, a cup and handle pattern, another traditional technical analysis pattern. So, and again, very similarly to a head and shoulders, you would draw a line across the high, and you would measure from the high there, from the trend line up there, all the way down to the base, so to about there. So let's call it 121 down to 117.50. So around about that. So we're talking about what's that? 350 pips. So 350 pips onto 117.50 would put us at about 13, 113. Is that right? 114 even. My math's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, 114. So it'd project about 114. Right, okay. So let's now turn this back upside down. And it's really a useful thing to be able to invert a chart, by the way. So if you can turn a chart upside down with your charting software, the human eye is good at spotting patterns, but not always brilliant at all patterns, and some people will find certain patterns easier to identify if you just periodically, when you're doing some analysis, turn your charts upside down and invert them. So I wouldn't have otherwise spotted this pattern here, this cup and handle, when it's upside down, or when it's in its normal format, should I say, like this. I wouldn't have spotted that. It's only when I turned it upside down that I realized, oh, there's a cup and handle pattern there. So we're talking about 114. So let's go back down to the weekly, back out to the weekly chart. 114 comes down in this zone down here with this long-term trend line, which I'll show you in a second. And also it marries up with where the projection would have been, funnily enough, with the head and shoulders in that whole same zone. So if I go to the monthly chart, you'll see that long-term trend line. That's it there, going all the way back to 2000. Okay, so it's a potential. We've got a little bit of negative momentum coming in at the moment. Again, nothing's 100%. I just thought for a little bit of an interesting Saturday video, there's a couple of chart patterns there for you, traditional technical analysis patterns, which some of you will know far more about the technicals of them than I do, because I don't trade those sorts of patterns frequently, but I'm always aware of them if I see them. And it might give you some food for thought about where the dollar might be going, and where the euro dollar might be going. So we shall have to see. Obviously there's some other patterns that will be coming in on higher time frames than that, and so the jury's out in that regard. But for this video, there's two patterns to go and have a look at. Take care for now. Enjoy your Saturdays. No videos, no daily videos next week for those of you who watch Kim's videos on a daily basis, because he is on holiday, and so there won't be any daily videos, but I'll be putting a couple of videos out for you next week anyway. Take care for now. Enjoy your weekends. Give us a thumbs up if you like these videos as always, and do remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next week for some probably more mindset stuff. Take care for now.